Welcome to this web edition of Cuse Countdown, joined by Kevin Ryans and Jared Barton. My name's Andrew Scaglione, ahead of Syracuse's old Big East rivalry with St. John's down at Madison Square Garden. The Johnnies call themselves New York City's college team, the Orange New York's college team. You see a conflict of interest there?
It's always interesting when you see the posters about New York's college team, New York City's college team. But you know, one team has really owned and dominated New York State, and that's definitely Syracuse over the years with the multiple Final Four appearances and all the NCAA tournament appearances, especially in the last 20 years. Syracuse has really dominated. So Syracuse can really claim New York State. New York City, St. John's has been in and out with them. So you never really know what the fan base is like over there, but it's definitely interesting.
It always puzzles me when I see the Syracuse Orange advertisement at Yankee Stadium. Don't really get it because they're not from the city, but it's okay. Sure, they're New York's college team.
That orange block S is seemingly everywhere as we take a look deeper into this rivalry. It's been going on all the way back since the early 1900s. Way back when. First year was 1912 of the rivalry. That game was 25-19, but how about this? 1965 was Jim Boeheim's first year playing for SU. 1993, they played thrice. 2 times in March, and Syracuse won that final one in the Big East tournament. 03, of course, the national championship year for Syracuse, but last year, St. John's got the best of Syracuse by 12 in the Dome.
Unfortunately, yeah, they couldn't pull out the victory there at the Dome. People were like, man, that game was in the bag. We were supposed to win, and it led to a pretty unfortunate season for the Orange.
Yeah, Phil Green, the fourth, dropped 11 straight points at the end of that game, but a much different look St. John's team this year, and a little bit of a different SU team as well. So, Kevin, who's your X factor going into this weekend?
My X factor is SU rebounding. Can SU really assert themselves on the boards? Because the last 3 or so games, Syracuse, they have been out-rebounded by 3 out of those 4 games. And if you look at it, the Colgate game, they were the tied rebounds over at 32. And St. John's has Yankumba Simba, and he's going to be a 6'11 guy, taller than any Orange player. So he's going to really assert himself down low. Can the Syracuse defense or offense really body him and try to get those rebounds in terms of that? And that's really going to help because it helps sets up the offense in terms of, bringing it back down the court when it's on the defensive end, and then also, getting those offensive rebounds, maybe setting up second chance points in order to take care of the St. John's. So, can they rebound better? That's going to be my X factor.
Well, the rebounding is important, and one group from that team that needs to rebound well is the front court, and that's going to be my X factor here. You were talking about how the St. John's team has a big guy, 6'11", bigger than anybody else on the Orange squad, and that's going to be a big factor because Coleman, who went out against Colgate in the last game, couldn't even defend a guy who was about 5'7". So you got to really watch out for that. He looked really, really bad in the last game against Colgate. They got to play a little bit better, and Roberson needs to stop fouling, and they just need to come together as a unit and try to play a little bit better.
I would really like them to see them assert themselves down low too on the offensive end. They really need to see that in terms of, against a team like this, St. John's, very small up in the front court, big on the down low. You gotta get the ball, feed them down there. You can't rely on the
35-35 against Colgate in rebounding, which is not what you want to see against a team of Colgate's stature. No one taller than 6'8". Last year, Syracuse lost. 2 years ago in MSG, Syracuse won. Kevin, who wins this weekend?
I'm going with Syracuse, 71-56. Now, I think St. John's keeps it close, partially because of the rebounding. But then also, you got to look at Syracuse's three-point shooting. Now, I know they've been hot and cold, but you saw it in the Colgate game. They shot very well from 3. I think that carries over to this game, and they pull away at the end, thanks to maybe Malachi Richardson or Trevor Cooney, Michael Benichet shooting in from the 3. I'm going to go 71-56 SU.
For me, I'm going to take the Orange as well. 64-55, my final score. They had a lot of experienced players on that St. John's team last year, and they came into the Dome and got business done. This year, not so much. They got a lot of young players, they got a lot of freshmen that are playing. So look for the Orange to use that experience to their advantage. They're going to pull out the victory.
Well, to find out if Mike Hopkins can get win number 2, you can follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV Sports for coverage of the game, which is at noon on Sunday down in the city. For Jared and Kevin, my name's Andrew. Happy early holidays, and we'll see you in the Big Apple.